Hello dear developers, today we are going to build an extraordinary, unique portfolio using React, Vite, and React 95 package or component library to build this amazing, unique portfolio with style of Windows 95. So first we got the login page that we have set up the username and password with the default of admin. When we click OK, we can see the main page. So in main page, what components we have? First, we got the video component, and as you can see, when we click on it, we have the old default video player of the Windows 95, and we can play, stop, and go back, and full screen. And then we have the browser component that we can browse anything we want. We are using an iframe for this purpose. We are using the search engine Swiss for the iframe usage, and we can search anything we want. For example, Windows 95. We have an excellent resume of ours that is story-like. We have Genesis, Chronicles of Coder, Arsenal of Software Engineer, The Soul of the Engineer, and many more. And as you can see, I have written something that is very story-like and gets attention. So I have my saga, and I'm a creator of words and everything. You can see I have my experiences here. Then I've got the languages and the things I've worked with, and here I am saying my attributes and core attributes of me. So we have this here, and then we got the game. We have created a chess game so the user can't be bored, and we can play with it. We are playing with a random bot, and you can do anything you want. Then we have the contact. So the user have your contacts, GitHub, LinkedIn, Twitter, Gmail, or anything else. And as you can see here in the right corner, we have the Clippy. And as you can see, it has moves, it has animations and everything. And here in the left corner, we have the ability to shut down, and all the other components that we build is here. And when we click on shutdown, as you can see, we can shut down our computer, so it goes back to the login page. So let's dive into the code. So first we will create a new folder. I will call it Windows 95 and drag and drop it in your favorite IDE. I'm using Tray for this purpose. Let's close the AI mode, and then we are going to install our dependencies. We are going to use Vite and React. And other thing is that we are going to use React 95 component library. So we are using the components that are inspired by Windows 95 UI designs. So we are going to install all these three packages that React 95 offers. First, let's initialize our project to the Vite. So npm create Vite at latest and the default root of our folder. So when the Vite says select a framework, we are going to choose React, and we are going to use TypeScript. So then we are going to run npm install. And after all our dependencies has been installed, we are going to install our packages. So write npm I, and I'm going to copy and paste the packages. Let's delete the extra spaces. So you're going to use React core icon, React 95 core icons, and the Clippy component of React 95 component library. And we are going to use Shutdown for state management. So we are going to install Shutdown too, and we are going to install React icons for the contact icons. So write React icon. We will wait until all the dependencies has been installed. So already all the dependencies have been installed successfully. And now, if you go to the public folder, you can see I have added logo.png. It is the logo of Windows 95. Yeah, you can find it in the repository defined in the description section of this video. And let's go to the source folder for now. And first things first, we are going into main.tsx. Let's close the terminal so we have a better view. And first we are going to import the styles needed for Windows 95 theme. So we are going to say React 95 core, and it is coming from themes. and we are going to choose win95.css. This CSS file is initializing the theme and style of Windows 95. So our components, or the components React 95 core uses this CSS file. So next we are going to delete the app.css file. We don't need it. Then we are going to head to index.css file, and we are going to delete all the things we see, and we are going to copy and paste. And then we are going to copy this CSS utility file that is like tabling utilities, and that will be easier for us to use in our components, and it will fasten our work. So we have done index.css and we have pasted in our index.css file, and then we are going to the app.tsx file where we will start coding. So let's delete all the things we see here. We don't need them. And delete all the things here too. And app.css. And we don't need the user state too. So delete it too. So to get the whole structure of our app, first we are going to show the user our login page. So first the user should log in, and then user will see the actual page. So let's write a div tag, and inside the div tag we are going to pass our logo. So write img, and we are going to give it the source of logo.png. The width is going to be 400, and style is going to be positioned absolute. Top is going to be 50%, because we are going to center it both vertically and horizontally. So top 15%, and left is going to be 50% too. Then we are going to have a transform that will translate minus 50% each way. So for this absolute thing to position, absolute thing to work, we should give our div a style of position relative so it works correctly. First, we are going to give it a width of Windows width of 100%. Background color is going to be hashtag 098684. Then we are going to initialize the min height, so we are going to get the whole screen, the height of the whole screen, and we are going to set it to 100 VH. And at the end, we got to position it to the relative. So we got it working. Let's run it in our terminal and see what we got right now. So write npm run dev. And we got it on port 5173. We'll open it up in Chrome. And as you can see, we have this. And as you can see, we have the white spaces around this round. And it is because the default styles of the Windows 95, it applies. So we should go to the index.html in our root folder, and we will go to the body tag, and we set the style, and we will set the margin to be 0. Now if we look once more, as you can see, it works correctly. Now let's go back to the app.tsx file. So as I said before, we have two pages. First, we have the login page, and it has a big if the user is unauthenticated. But if the user is authenticated, we show the main page. So for this authenticated and unauthenticated, we are going to use Zustand for the state management. So let's create a new folder in a source folder called store. In the store folder, we are going to create a file called auth.ts. Oops. Here on top, we will import create from Shutdown, so we can create our piece of state. For the type, we are going to set interface auth state, we are going to have authenticated, and it's going to be a Boolean. We are going to have the login function. So it is a function returning void. And we got the logout function. It will return void too. So we got our type. Now let's create our state. Export const. Let's close the terminal so we have a better view. Use authentication. I will call it use auth. Then I will create. For the type, we will pass the auth state. And we have the set method, so we can set our state dynamically. So we have the authenticated, that is default is false. We have the login function, that the function is going to set the authenticated state to true. And we got the logout function that is going to do the same as login, but set the authenticated to false. We have created our authentication state, and we are going to, let's go back to app.tsx and use it. To use it, we should write const authenticated equals to, and we will get the use auth. We have declared our store, and we are going to get the state of the state.authenticated. So we are checking if it's authenticated or not. So let's put our functionality here. We will use brackets, and if the user is not authenticated, so we will show him the login page or the login component. If the user is authenticated, we will show him. So if the user is authenticated, we are first going to wrap our full components in Clippy. Clippy is a component that is very animational, and the users back then on Windows 95 enjoyed to use it. So we will use Clippy provider. We have imported in top, and we are setting the agent name. I love the agents of Merlin. So import agents from Clippy, and we are set it to Merlin. Then we have the div inside, and we will pass it the class name of fixed. And here, the fixed class name is going to fix the desktop icons you see on the top left side of our page. So here we are going to have our desktop icons. So let's create a folder in the source folder called components. First, we are going to create our login component. So write login.tsx. We will use the shortcut RFCE. So first, we are going to use the const login. And we are going to use the use auth state we have created before. So set the state, and we are going to get the login functionality. Because this package has some type errors, and many recommend to don't use TypeScript, but I love TypeScript to use it. For this purpose, we are going to use a model component, and model component, if you don't use it with TypeScript, is okay. If you use it with TypeScript, you get type errors, and I don't like it. So for making our model, we are going to say on bottom of the file, const safe model equals to model as unknown as component type that is coming from React, and its type is any. It is better than nothing. Because we are going to get some ESLint errors, we are going to say ESLint disable next line, and we should import the model from the React 95. So now that we have our model, let's create it. So let's delete the div component, and we are going to set our safe model So our safe model going to have some props. First prop is the drag options. We don't want to we don't want the user to drag this model. So we are going to set drag options to be disabled. And we are going to set the disable to true. The next prop we are going to have is the title prop. So write title, welcome to Windows. The next prop is going to be our style tag. So we are going to position this model to be absolute. And as we had before in the app.tsx, we are going to center it. So I'm going to copy and paste. So for the faster accomplishment. So go back and paste it here. We are pasting it to be in the center of our screen. The next prop is our title bar options. So let's make it into separate lines to have a better view. So the next prop is going to be our title bar options. That is going to be an array of the component title bar that is coming from the React 95 Core 2. And we are going to use the help first. And we will give it a style. So it is centered on both top and bottom. So we will give it a style of margin block of other. Now that we have completed the safe model, we are going to make the model content. So write model dot content, and the width is going to be 400 pixels, 450 pixels, and height is going to be 160 pixels. Box shadow is going to be $n. It is going to be inside shadow. So here we'll create a div with a class name of flex. Items are going to be stored and justify between. And gap is going to be 2. Then we are going to use the React 95 icons. So we are going to import key icon from it. And we are going to set the width of 50 and height of 52. Let's see what we have got right now. As you can see, a blank screen. Why? Because we have not imported login. And now, if we try again, as you can see, we have the Windows 95 and the model for our login. But the key is one key. Let's change it to keys. And let's delete the key. If you see it, it becomes keys. Then we will create a div. And this div is going to have the class name of flex column. First, we are going to give it flex, then flex column, and gap of 4. Inside this div, we are going to have our inputs. So first, we are going to have a p tag saying that type your username and password to log in to your account. First, we have this p tag, and we will give it a style margin of 0. Below the p tag, we are going to have another div that is going to have our inputs. So we are going to give the div our class name of flex items center and gap of 2. So we are going to have 2 of these divs. In first one, we have a p tag, and we are going to say user name. Then below it, we will have the input component from React 95. The default value, it is not recommended for this, but because it is just our portfolio and we don't have anything special to use with, we set the default value to admin. But it is not recommended in real-world applications and usages on authentication platforms. So, right, input default value admin, and we are going to set it to disable, so user can't write. We will copy and paste this in here too, but we will change the username to password, and the default value is going to be admin2 disabled, but we are going to set it to type of password. And we have to give the p tags margin of 0, so we don't have extra margins, because the Windows 95 style that we have imported earlier in the main.tsx file will give p tags margin of 2, I think. With this thing completed, we will see what we have right now. As you can see, we have the input tags, input and labels, and we have the p at the top of the inputs. So next we will create our buttons. So after the input, we will create our buttons. So in the model content, we'll go there and create another div, and we will give it a class name of flex and flex column, so it is column based, and gap of 2. Then we are going to use the button component from the React 95. One is going to say OK, one is going to say cancel. For the one that says OK, we are going to give it a style of width of 100%. So let's copy this style and paste it there too, because both of buttons should have the width of 100%. And as we say, we will give it an on-click on OK, and we will set it to be the login method we have defined in our state manager in Shutdown. So we are going to set the login function. So everything should work correctly because we have completed our login model and login page. So we have them here, but the buttons are misplaced. So what we have done wrong, because we have to do it in here, not there. Now if we see again, and they are placed correctly now. And if we click on OK now, as you can see, the clipper provider works, and why we have 2, and we got 2 of them now. We will work on it to see what's the problem. So let's go back to the app.tsx file, and now we are going to create the main page that the user is authenticated, and we will show it to him. So here inside the div, we are going to create our desktop icon component. So let's go to the components folder and create a new file called desktop icon.tsx. We will do the RFCE, and first we are going to have one style object here that is a centralized style object for maintainability and clarity. We are going to copy and paste it and use it in our component. So on top of our component, we have the const styles. Then what we are going to do is to define the types of our component. So we will write interface desktop icon props. First we have the icon. We will get an icon prop from our user that is going to be the type of React element. And we are going to have a variant for it too. So user can pass a variant that is going to be a string. We are going to close it. Then we have a name prop that is going to be a string. And we are going to have children that is going to be a React node. We have to import React node. Then we are going to have width and height. Then we are going to have width and height that are easy to use, and if the user wants to specify a width and height, and it's not instructive. So let's give it a height, and the height is going to not be instructive too. So let's delete the line, and we are going to destructure our props here. So, and getting our props, we got the icon, name, children, width, and height. And all this are from the type desktop icon props. Here we should have state that initializes that when the window or the model we call it is going to be opened, closed, or we are going to specify is the window open, so we get the state for it right now. So let's create a new file in our store folder called Windows. Here we will do the same, import create from Shutdown, and we will initialize the interface Windows store. We are going to have the open Windows state, so that is a string array of string. Then we are going to have the open window function that is going to have a title as an argument, and our argument is string and returning void. Then we have the close window. As above says, we got the title, string, and returning void. And we have setting state, and now we got the informative state that informs us if the window is open or not. So we are setting is window open, and we are setting the title that is going to be string and returning boolean. So let's create our state. Export const use Windows store. Then we are going to use create from Shutdown, and we will pass it the types. And we will have two methods, set and get. First, we have the open window, that is an array. Open windows, that is an array. Then we have the open window function, that is going to get the title. And then using the title, we are going to set, we are getting the state, and we are going to say that open windows is going to be an array with the structuring new, and we are passing the set that all of the children is unique and no repeated ones we have. So we are setting a set and inside it array, and we are going to destruct it and make it iterable again. We are going to pass state dot open windows, and we are going to give it title too. So we are adding the window. Then we are going to have close window function that we are going to get the title, and we are going to set getting a state, and we are going to say open windows are going to be state dot open windows dot filter. We are going to filter that out. So we are getting the window and we are going to filter it out. So W should not equal to title. We have created the close window too, and the last one is window open. We get the title, and we will have the get method dot open windows dot includes title. This will return a boolean. If it does, it will return true. If it doesn't, it will return false. So let's go back to our desktop icon component. And here we are going to destructure our state getting from the use Windows store. So write const destructure open windows, open window, close window, and we are going to get the is window up. and they are coming from use window store. And for getting if the is window open, we should declare it here. So we say const is open equals to is window open, and we will pass the attribute of name. Attribute or prop of name. So next is to create our functions of handle, double click, and handle close window. So when double click is done, we should open a window, and handle close window closes the window. So write const handle double click. Right, let's write it in function form. And we'll say open window, and we will give it the name. Copy and paste it, change the handle double click to handle close. And change the function name to close window. And it is going to have the prop of name that is a string. So in the return statement, we are going to have fragment and top, and inside the fragment, so we have the div tag, and inside the div tag we are going to have our icon and a p tag. So for icon, we are going to use react dot clone element, and we will pass it icon and the variant attribute, and it is going to be the size of 32x32 4. And below that, we will create a p tag. The p tag is going to have the style of styles dot icon name. And inside the p tag, we will specify the name. For the upper div tag, we have style, and we will pass the styles dot desktop icon. And it has the on double click event handler, and we will set it to handle double click function we created before. Then we will have the is open state. So when we have is open, a window is open, we will have our window component that we are going to create in a minute. So on the above of the desktop icon props types, we will create our window component. First, let's declare the types. So it is going to interface window props. It is going to have an icon that is a React element. And like before, we have the variant that is going to be a string. Then we have the title that is going to be string. And we have the children that is going to be React node. Then we have the width and height. We will copy and paste this And we have the onClose handler. No, it is not going to be ternary. So we have the onClose function, and it is going to return void. Let's create the window component. So write const window. We are going to destructure the types. So we are having title, onClose, children, icon, width, and height. And all of these are from the window props type. First, we are going to get the minimize from the use model. That is from the React core package we have installed. So write const and the structure minimize from the use model hook from the React 95 core. Then we are going to return. We have created a safe model, as you can see in the login page at the login component, and we are going to copy it and paste it below of the desktop icon export. And let's import the types and the model component. Then in return statement, we are going to say, in returning the JSX, we will say the safe model, and it is going to have the types, the props of ID, of title, icon is going to be icon, title going to be title, and title or options is going to be an array. And this array will have the title bar dot minimize. That has a prop of style, key, and onClick. So give it style prop, and we will give it margin block of auto, so it is centered. Then it has the key of minimize, that is going to be a string. And we are going to have the prop of onClick. That is going to be a function calling the minimize we have declared in our code. So let's copy this component we have created, title bar.minimize. We will copy it, and on the end we will paste it, and title bar.minimize will change it to title bar.close, key change to close, and onClick will be changed to onClose prop that we are getting from the desktop icon. Here we will have the modal content. So write modal dot content. The width is going to be, we are going to use template literals because we have to use pixels. So write dollar and curly brackets. We are going to specify width and pixels. We will do the same for height. And inside the model.content, we will pass our children. So, and here, when is open now, we can define our window component. So, instead of the comment, we are going to specify our component window, and we are going to give it a prop of width that is going to become the width, height, and the icon that is going to be react.clone element and the icon and the variant. But the variant is going to be 16 to 16. And we are going to have the title prop giving it name from the desktop icon, and we are going to pass the onClose prop that will close our window, and we will pass it the handle close. And here we will pass the children. So let's test it out. Let's go to our Chrome browser. Now we have our login page, and if we click on OK, if we don't have any desktop icons yet, let's create many. So go back to app.tsx. And inside the fixed, let's delete the comment. And inside the fixed div, we are going to specify desktop icon. And first, we are going to create the video. So we are going to have a movie icon from the React 95 icons. And we are going to pass it a name, video. And for the children, we will use the video component of React 95 core. Give it a width of 420 pixels. And the source of this URL, we will give it an example URL. So I just copy and pasted it. So let's test it out again. We are going to refresh our page. Okay. And we are going to double click. And as you can see, it works correctly. Our component is working correctly. And we have the minimize. And it is running on the background. But when we have the taskbar, we will see it here. So let's create the taskbar. Or we'll call it window bar. So let's create a new file here called window bar.tsx. We will say RFCE. And we have two states. Shutdown, and we are going to get this state from Shutdown open windows. So we will say const show shutdown that we will show the shutdown model with it and set show that is going to be a use state. And the default value is going to be false. Then we are going to get the is open window from the use window store we have created earlier in the stand store. So write const and the structure open window equals to use window store. And we will create a fragment here. We will have taskbar from the React 95 core package. And below the taskbar, we are going to have the state of show shutdown. And if it's true, we are going to show the shutdown component. So let's comment it out. For now, we are going to create the show shutdown component, and then we will show it. So in the taskbar first, we are going to, inside the taskbar, we are going to have the clock. And we are going to create that clock component. So in top of the file, we will say function clock. And we will set in a state of time. And set time equals to use state. And we are going to get the new date. Then we will have use effect. With no dependency, and we are going to say const timer equals to set interval set timeout new date, and we are going to use second. 1 second. And we are going to clear it. So we will say return clear interval, and we will set it to timer. And let's return the JS6 here. So we have the div tag. And for the style, we have padding of 0, 10 pixel. So 0 on top and bottom and 10 pixel on right and left. Then we have align self. That is going to be center. Inside the div, we are going to have time dot to locale time screen, and we will give it a empty array at first. Then it will set the hour to be 2 digits and minutes to be 2 digit too. And if we refresh our page, and let's import it in our app.tsx so we can see it working. Below, you will import the window bar. And as you can see, it's working correctly. So the next step is to create our taskbar list. So we will give it a list prop. And inside here, I will copy and paste it because it's a lot of code and I will explain it to you. So first, let's import the list from React 95 core. And these are the icons. Some of them are from React 95 icons and some of them are from React icons. So let's import them all. As you can see, type it doesn't. Let's import here at React 95 icons. I will import into these settings. A movie WordPad. And in the end, we have computer 3. So with this list, we should have the ability to see when we click on the start button, we should see the list and it is working correctly. We got our contacts, game, settings, browser, video, and resume. Everything is working correctly. Let's see the code and let's see what every list item is doing. What each list item is doing. So first we have the mail. That is our contacts. It's very simple component that we have put all our contacts like GitHub link, LinkedIn link, Twitter link, and our mail. Then we have the game that, as you can see, we have an open window. We have a specified earlier. With open window, we can open the game and we don't need to specify anything. We will create the desktop icon in next. So then we have the settings. We have just specified it, but we don't have the windows for it. We have the browser, we have the window, we have the video, we have the video window too, and we have the resume item, and we have the window and shutdown that will show shutdown. That will be our model that we will be creating now. So in components folder, create a new file called shutdown.tsx and write rfce First things first, because this is a model, we are going to use the same safe model. Let's copy it and paste it here. And let's import this. So in top, first we are going to specify a type. So type shutdown options equals to shutdown string, or it is going to be restart, or it is going to be restart incompatible. Then we are going to specify an interface of shutdown props. And the shutdown props are just a close function. And it's returning void. So in our shutdown component, first let's get the on close, auto on, just close, and we will pass the type of shutdown props. Then we will create a use state to know what is the user going to select. So we are going to say const selected option and set selected option equals to use state, and the type is going to be shutdown options, and the default will be shutdown. You're going to make another state that now let's not do it, and let's just say get a logout state from use off that we created in system. So let's say const logout equals to use auth, and we are going to get the state dot logout. Let's import use auth. Next, we will create our function. So when the user confirms the shutdown, we will do this handle confirm. And we are going to say if selected option equals to shutdown. We are going to say first we are going to log out. Then we are going to close the model. And if else, we are just going to close. So everything done in functionality, let's go to JS export and let's create our UI for the component. So we are going to use the safe model. Let's go to the desktop icon and copy some of the props we have already created. So we need title and style and title bar options. So for the safe model prop, first we are going to initialize an icon for it. We are giving it the computer 3 icon from React 95 icons, and the variant for it is going to be 32x32 4. Then we are going to pass it the title, and it is going to say shut down Windows. Then we are going to center it. So we have the style tag, and inside we have the left of 15%, top of 50%, and translate. Each side is going to be 50%. Again, dot minus. Then after the style prop, we are going to have the title bar options. So write title bar options, and you're going to have an array, and it is going to be title bar dot close. Give it a key of a string close, an on-click handler that says the close function we created earlier. So inside the safe model, we are going to have our model content. So write model dot content, and width is going to be 400 pixel. And inside the model content, we are going to first have a div tag with a class name of p of 4, padding of 4. Then inside the div tag, you are going to have another div tag with a class name of flex items start. Inside this div, you are going to have the computer icon we have imported earlier, computer 3, and variant is going to be the same, 32x32 4. and we are going to pass it in a style property prop, and we are just going to say margin right of 1 ref. Below of the icon, we will have another div that has this style tag, and it's going to say flex grow of 1. Inside the div, we have a p tag first. With the default style, we are going to remove the default style of margin. Top is going to be 0. And inside the p tag, we are going to say, are you sure you want to? And we will have our radio button from React 95 core. So we will pass it the name. Name is going to be Shutdown. We will pass it the value. It is going to be shut down again. And we will pass it the checked. And its value is coming from the selected options dot selected option should equal to shutdown. And we will pass the unchange. So it's a function that will set the selected option to be shutdown. And here we will say shut down the computer. Just copy and paste it 2 times, and we will change the values just. So the name, we don't need to change the name, we will change just the restart. The value here will be restart incompatible. Here will be restart. Here will be restart incompatible. Restart and restart incompatible. Now let's change this. Restart the computer and restart the computer in MS-DOS mode. So then we are going to, below all the div tags, we are going to create our field set component that is coming from React 95. So write field set, import it, and we are going to give it a style. Our padding is going to be 0.5 rem. Margin is going to be 0.5 rem too. Then we will pass the div tag inside, and we will pass the div the class names of flex, items, center, justify, center, and gap of 2. Then inside the div, we are going to have 3 buttons that are coming from the React 95 core package. For the first one, we will give it an onClick handler that is going to be handle confirm. And we will give it a style and width of 90 pixels. And for the text, inside the button, we will say yes. Copy and paste it 2 times. Just changed it for close and delete it here. This one is going to be hello. This one is going to be no. And everything is complete now. Let's test it out in our browser. So let's refresh our page. Okay, here we click on Shutdown and we didn't got it. Why? Because we haven't initialized it and imported it in window bar. So here, let's delete the comment. We are going to say Shutdown, importing it, and for the prop, we have the close prop. That is going to say set show shutdown to false. Let's try again. We said OK, here, click, and we can see it works correctly. We can change between these, and when we say yes, it goes back to the login page. So next, let's create our other desktop icons. Go back to app.tsx file. So below the first desktop icon, I'm going to create another one, and this one is going to be our browser. So let's give it an icon of iNet, CP11, CPL, 13, the variant. No, we don't need to specify variant because all of them is going to be 32. Let's just import it. Then we are going to have the name and we will say browser. And let's change the first letter in video to we have the desktop icon. And for showing it, we are going to use an iframe. We don't need the ending tag. For the source, we are going to have https://swisscows.com. We are using it because it doesn't block us. We don't need a frame border. We just specify width. Width is going to be 800 and height is going to be 500. Let's create another desktop icon. We are going to pass it the icon of WordPad. This is going to be our resume and name is going to be resume. Here we are going to create our resume component. So in components folder, create a new file called resume.tsx. I will just copy and paste the file. I will just copy and paste the code and I will walk you through it. So we have our resume. We are using components of avatar, checkbox, field set, progress bar, and tabs. As you can see, it's really simple to use these components. We have tab, we have many tabs, we have Genesis, and we have Chronicles of Coder tab and others. And we are using checkboxes, field set, and everything to make our resume be more eye-catching. Let's go back to our app.tsx and let's import it. And it's going to be the children of our desktop icon. So let's test this out. Refresh your web page. Okay. We have the video. Let's test the browser if it's working or not. Yes, it's working. Let's search for something like window, and it is working correctly. We have the web, news, images, videos, shopping, and other. Let's close it or minimize it. Let's go to the resume desktop icon, click on it, double click on it. And as you can see, we have a nice resume. We have tabs that we can switch, and they are working correctly. But there is something missing. So in desktop icon for the resume, we will set the width to be 650. Let's create another desktop icon. This is going to be for our chess game. We are going to pass the width of 400. Height is going to be 402. And icon, we are going to use the Joy 102. And the name is going to be game. For our chess game, we will install some packages. Open up a terminal, and first we are going to install these packages to have our chess game. So write npm I. First we are going to install chess.js package, then React chessboard. The dependencies have been installed, and let's close the terminal, and we will go to components and create a new component called game.tsx. Here, first we will import chess from chess.js package. Then we will import chessboard from React chessboard and a type that is a piece drop handler arguments. Here we will create our component function game. First, we need two refs. So we are creating const chess game ref, and we are going to set the use ref, and it is going to be new chess. Then we have another ref, chess game ref. We are going to use chess game ref dot caret. Then we have to track the current position of the chess game in a state to trigger a re-render of the chessboard. So we will say const chess position and set chess position, and we are going to use state chess game dot fetch. And let's capitalize the P. Then we will create a function to make a random CPU move. So create a function, make random move. First, we should get all the possible moves. So we write const possible moves equals to chess game dot moves. Then we have an if that says exit if the game is over. So we will say chess game dot is game over return. So then we have to pick a random move. So we say const random move equals to possible moves, and we are going to say math.floor math.random multiplied by possible moves.length. And when we want to make the move, so we say chess game dot move to the random move, and we are going to update the position state. Next, we will create another function to handle piece drag. So write function on piece drag, on piece drop. I will say that we have attributes of source square and target square, and the type is piece drop handle args. We have imported on top. So let's create it. First, we will say if target square is false, or we don't have it, we are going to return false. This is a type narrow target square potentially being null. Then we should try to make the move according to the chess.js logic. So we will say try chess game dot move from, it's going to be from the source square to targets square, and the promotion is going to be Q. Always promote to a queen, for example, simplicity. Promotion to Q. after the move, we are going to update the position state upon a successful move to trigger a re-render of the chessboard. So we are going to set chess position, chess game dot fin. Then we are going to make a random CPU move after a short delay. We will say set timeout and we'll pass the function, make random move and 500 milliseconds. And in the end, we will return true as the move was successful. So we have try and we should say a catch block. We will say return false as the move was not successful. Next, we are going to set the chessboard options. So we are going to say const chessboard options equals to curly brackets. Position is going to be the chess position, state on piece drop function we created, and ID play versus random. Then we are going to return with our UI. So return chessboard, and we will pass it the options we create. Chessboard options. I think we have created a misspelled. So this should be outside the function. So let's make it here. And now we will go back to app.tsx and export our game component. But we haven't exported yet. I think yes. So we will say on the bottom, export default game. Now we can import it in our .tsx file. And we haven't imported, so let's see if it works. Okay. And double click on game and move a player. It is not working. Let's see why it's not working. So here we misspelled something. Chess game that is over. Is game over is a function. So we should find it like this. Let's try again. And it is not working. On the on-piece drop, let's restart again, refresh the page, okay, and we have the game, and let's see if and yes it does. It's working correctly. Let's close it. Let's go back to our IDE, we are going to app.tsx, and let's create the next desktop. So below of the game desktop icon, we are going to create desktop icon, and we are going to set 400 for it, and icon is going to be mail from the React 95 icons, and name is going to be contact. Here we will have the contact component. So let's create it. In the components folder, create a new file called contact.tsx. Here we will say RFCE at first, then we are going to have our contact list, links and list. Contact links. It is going to be const contact links, and it's going to be an array of objects. So we have icon first, and we will pass FA GitHub. Size is going to be 24, and close the component. Then we have the label that is going to be GitHub. And we are going to have the URL that is going to be our GitHub URL. So we will copy and paste it for 3 times, and we will use FA LinkedIn. Next is going to be FA Twitter, and next is going to be our mail. That mail is going to have the variant, and it is going to be a string of 32. Let's change the labels too. So second one is going to be LinkedIn. Third one is going to be Twitter. Fourth one is going to be our email. And these are going to be the URLs. We don't need to change it, but you have to put your owns here. So in the UI part, first we are going to have the frame from the React 95 core package, and we are going to give it a BG of Vite, shadow of in, and a style tag of padding 24 pixels, and min width is going to be 320 pixels. And inside the frame, we are going to have h2 tag with the style of margin top of 0, margin bottom is going to be 16 pixels. Font family is going to be MS sans serif, and font size is going to be 22. Then we have the color that is going to be hashtag. It's going to be in a string, hashtag 3 twos. And it's going to say contact me. Below the H2, we got the list. This is coming from the React 95 core. And we are going to map through the contact links. Contact links dot map. I will destructure the icon, label, and URL. Next, we are going to return a list item, key of label, and icon of icon. Inside the list of item, we are going to have an href. It's going to be our URL, and target is going to be blank. So it opens up a new tab. And for the style, we are going to have text decoration. It's going to be none, so we don't have any underlines. And color is going to be hashtag 3 twos. And font family is going to be the same MS sans serif. And inside the A tag, we are going to have our label. So we have created the context component. Let's go to app.tsx and import it. Now let's test our app. Okay. And we have the content. Amazing. We have created a nice Windows 95 style theme portfolio for ourselves. We have the video component. All the things are draggable, so we can play a video. We have our own browser. We have our own resume, and we have our own great chess game. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe for more. I hope to see you next one. Happy coding.